Please read this for me, sir. Surah 4.
I can't read English.
You can't read English. You can speak English but can't read English.
No way. You want me to read Quran in English? Of course I can't read English. You mad?
Please read this for us.
You can't.
What?
No way. What's the
Please read this for us.
I can't read it, but I don't understand it. You don't understand.
Nisa, woman, yeah?
You not
verse?
need a
Which
translator.
verse? Number what?
Look. When you read
Surah
Quran,
4,
you don't,
ayah 29, please.
look. When you read Quran, you don't need a translator.
Yeah.
You need a scholar. There is a difference between scholar and translator. You know, sometimes you find the word like normal we are talking, but the meaning of it is different. The word of God different. So many things in the Quran.
Surah 4, ayah 24, please.
Here. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل إلا أن تكون تجارة عن تراضي منكم ولا تقتلوا أنفسكم إن الله كان بكم رحيما.
That's it.
What does it say?
That's I understand. What do you read here?
Tell me, what did you understand about it?
Surah 4, ayah 24 says this.
Oh,
And all married women
huh?
forbidden to you,
Or what?
and all married women, 24.
This is 24.
24, sorry.
You go 29, you said.
I'm sorry, 24.
والمحصنات من النساء
read it in English بس خرجوا بياهي.
and all married women are forbidden unto you.
Is that what it talk about, women?
Save those captive whom your right hand possess. It is decree of Allah for you. Lawfully into you are all beyond those mentioned, so that you seek them with your wealth in honest. What is the problem?
Read it
So-
in Arabic. Read it.
No.
Read it in Quran. Read it in Quran.
العربية
Yeah, لازم. You can't.
والمحصنات من النساء اللائي ما ملكت أيمانكم كتب الله عليكم أحل لكم ما وراء ذلكم أن تبتغوا بأموالكم محسنين غير مسافحين.
So, what do you find here, sir?
صعبة هاي تحللها لك.
What do you find
What
here?
is your problem? I don't know.
The problem is, can you force a lady who is a captive, can you force and take her as your sex slave?
Sex slave, there is no sex slave, my friend. Why sex
slave
slave?
and there is no
Say,
force.
marry her, no sex. Are you possessed about sex?
What do you understand?
He says marry.
You have.
What do you
What are you
understand?
talking about? Oh my God.
What do you understand?
Yeah.
What do you
why you talk about sex?
What do you understand?
Sex.
What do you
It's
understand?
about
What do you understand from the expression
What
what your right hand possesses?
means they are captive instead they've been killed in battle or left alone.
Yeah.
They've been captive.
So
and they will eat same food as the
No.
as the master.
No.
They sleep in a better room, better condition. And if you can marry them, marry them.
No, if you take them
Yeah.
with your right hand,
No.
Left to right,
Not this is take them.
right
No,
to
take them.
left.
if you take them with your right hand,
Wait.
are they agreeing
Look.
for you to have sex with them?
There is.
You cannot force them to have
You can't force.
marry them. No sex.
No. The
Forget
question
about
the
sex.
question is not whether
There
you
is no
can or
sex
not.
in Islam, bro. What are you talking about?
There's no sex in Islam.
Yeah, there is no
There
sex
you go.
outside of marriage. Outside of marriage, should be there.
The question:
Outside of marriage.
how many wives have you got? How many wives have you got?
No, it's outside of the marriage. Is no sex outside of marriage, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's about sex,
So,
sex. You're forcing us.
Let's talk about the expression
Of Jesus calling the woman
of
drunk.
your.
Tell us about that.
Let's talk about the expression who your right hand possesses.
Yeah. You ask me, I answer. Now I'm asking you.
No.
Tell us about the woman
You didn't
being called
answer.
a dog.
You didn't
She's called
answer.
a dog.
You didn't.
Tell us.
You-
Is he manner? Is he racist?
You
Or
didn't.
Is he no?
You didn't answer what
No,
I asked
answer
you.
now, Archer.
You
No,
did
no,
not
You have to
answer.
understand what this
Archer.
means.
The
right
question
hand.
I asked is
Question
simple.
is, why Jesus
If
called
you
him
take a
woman?
lady by your right hand
What's
and
me right hand?
make her your possession,
What's me right hand?
is she agreeing to be with you
What
or
do you
not?
mean? What's the-
Or are you taking her
what's
by
the-
force?
what's the-
Please answer, sir.
What's the meaning? Do you know what's the
We
meaning of
did
right?
answer already.
If you were
We
trying
did.
to take-
No, don't touch me.
Okay.
man.
Why?
If you are trying to take someone
Okay.
as a possession
Why you didn't
by your
say-
right hand,
Why you didn't say left
are you
hand?
forcing
Why
her
didn't you say right
or
hand?
is she
Some-
coming to
Okay,
you
there is some
out
people-
of her free will, sir?
Some people they are very strong and they have only left hand and they can't. Why you didn't say left hand?
So
Why
the
only?
question
What's
is
the
simple.
meaning? What's the meaning?
Well, because your
In the
Islamic
Quran,
Allah
the word-
doesn't know about
word-
the left hand.
No, you have
He
to
is
know
talking
what's
about the
meaning
right
of
hand.
The right hand. Does Allah has a hand or
The
not?
question,
No, you have to
the
understand
question we are asking is simple. If you take,
this. He doesn't know what's mean
if you
right.
take a lady as a possession by your right hand, is she coming to you out of her own free will, or are you forcing her to be with you?
No.
They are war
Please
captive.
answer, sir.
What do you mean? They are war captive. They are war captive.
In other words, you are forcing the lady.
What choice they have? They are war
In other words, you are forcing the lady to be with you.
Never.
What is marriage about
Why
this?
with me? Why with me? If I want to marry her, yes. But nothing to do with me.
Do you understand? When did you? Are you married, sir? Are you married, sir?
Why
Are you married,
are you
sir?
asking?
The question I'm asking. Are you married,
You
sir?
got a wife for me?
How many of you have got married by taking the lady by your right hand, forcing her to marry you? How many of you have done this?
Nobody forced nobody. No one.
Excuse me,
Marriage is not
taking the person by your right hand, you agreed a few minutes ago, these are captives. When you are
Captive of war.
captives,
Yes.
yeah, taking by right hand
Or
and
left hand.
all left hand.
Yeah.
So these are clearly
Right
captives
hand means-
according to you. So why do you deceive by saying these are people who are married to
I
you?
like her to cook for me if I don't want to marry her or she doesn't want to marry me. I like her to clean and cook and do
The
gardening.
question
So,
is
here we go.
not
And
what
she's
you
alive.
like, sir.
So
The
what is
question,
your problem?
the question
Yes.
is, what does Quran allow you to do? Quran
If I
allows.
want to marry her, yeah.
In the right
So,
way.
no. This guy is
Yes,
confusing.
You said
Let me
it
ask the
right
gentleman here.
You said it right hand.
Are you married, sir? You're not.
He got a wife for
But
you.
you know about marriage as an institution in our nation. So there are two people involved. Normally, man and a woman, husband, wife. Yeah. A husband and a wife. When they get married, how many people have to agree for this marriage to happen? The man and wife, both of them have to agree. That's how marriages happen. That's when we use the term marriage.
Okay.
Excuse
The
me, sir.
question now,
This
I'll
is,
ask you,
excuse me.
Where did you get
This
that
is
from?
when
Where
we
did you
use the
get-
term
who
marriage,
teach you that?
don't we?
No, who teach you that?
This guy is a bit confused
Okay, who teach you
because
that?
he is
I
saying,
agree.
he is
But
saying,
the problem is, he's not gonna
no,
agree.
don't agree before I finish,
He's
sir.
not gonna agree.
Because so
my
far,
question is to
he
you.
was so quite happy
Who-
with his
who
explanation.
teach you that?
Because what he is
Where did you
saying
get that?
is,
Who
you
teach you
take
marriage?
a lady as a captive
What?
and take her to you, and he calls that marriage. Would you call that marriage, sir?
That's wrong.
So clearly,
You're lying now. You're lying. Why you lying? I never said that.
a while ago,
What did you
You're on
take
the
her?
camera, bro.
a while
Did you
ago,
take your wife? Did you
a
take
while
your wife?
ago-
Listen.
Why did I say that?
Did you take
Why
your
you lying
wife
about
like
me,
this?
I did not. I'm not a Muslim,
In
sir.
the word of God, she's your right hand. She's your right hand.
No.
No. That's the word. You know to speak in our languages.
Don't
You
give
know to
me.
speak in our
Don't
language.
give me.
What the
Don't.
Taqiyya, you don't understand what's with taqiyya. What are these?
Don't give us nonsense, sir.
You're on recording now. He told you you're a liar.
Did you marry her in the right way or not?
Told
Sir,
you you're
okay.
a liar.
Did you marry her in the right way or not?
not by taking it by force by my right hand.
That's what is mean right hand.
I did not marry.
Why don't say left hand? Why did you say right hand? Does that mean a hand? A hand. It's not mean a hand.
Hello, sir, please.
Listen,
So clearly,
Listen, right hand does not mean a hand. Arm.
Clearly,
it's not mean
when we-
arm.
when we
you have to
have-
understand. Listen.
one second, sir. Please.
No.
1 second.
No.
So clearly,
you don't understand.
as a Western
no, you
institution-
don't understand. I swear you don't understand. You're explaining by
as a
yourself.
Western
No way,
institution,
no way. I'm not
marriage is between two
Do you
consenting
do you
individuals
understand from right
without
hand is
any
arm?
force being
Is
applied.
arm.
But he thinks
Why he
bringing a
thinking like this?
captive
He think it's
and
the right
taking
hand
the
is
captive
arm.
to you
In the
is
Quran,
marriage,
right
according to him.
hand is right
Would you
arm.
agree with that definition?
This is wrong.
Just because he
Right
uses the
hand
word
is
marriage, he thinks it's a marriage.
The right way. in
This
Arabic
is
we
what
call
happens in
half.
Islam.
Yeah, he making the translation.
you are
The
disturbing.
translation from Arabic. Right hand is mean. How do you say haq? How do you say haq? How do you say haq? How do you say haq in English?
Right.
Right.
You're right, yeah.
But you put in the right hand. That means you own it by right, by the way right.
Yes, you own it by right hand. Can you
Yeah,
see?
but not arm.
Can you see him try time and time again?
Of course.
Can you see him try time and time again,
I give you
ending
the-
up with the same definition?
Yeah.
He says, what you own with your right hand.
Okay. Where is the
What
right
you,
hand?
do you own your wife?
Okay. Before you make.
Would you,
No,
before
listen.
you get married,
Before you get
before you get married, would you say you own that lady?
Don't say married.
Would anyone
Don't
say that?
married. Don't say
When
married.
we say
Before you get sex, what do you do? Where is the right hand? Before you
before
do the
marriage,
sex. No.
if I said I own
Where
her,
is the right?
who is she to
Did
me?
you do the right hand before sex? That's the No,
It's a
that's-
slave.
I'm asking
It's a
you.
captive.
Did you-
So clearly, sir,
did
to
you- did you
you
make the
using the
right
term
hand
marriage
before
was
sex?
just a huge lie. You using the term marriage is just a huge lie. You have two choices,
So
sir.
right hand comes
Either
sex. Did you
either
did you
use
do
the
right
term-
hand before sex, not before marriage. You have to not before marriage, before sex. Did you do
either
right hand?
use the
If he
term
ask you, no,
captive
he didn't-
slave, either use the term
Why are you shouting? Why are you shouting?
either use the term captive slave or use the term marriage. Don't confuse them both. Don't use them in the same statement and confuse them both.
Okay.
So question is, Quran Surah 4 Ayah 24, right hand's possession you take to you,
Easy to understand.
that is not
Is
marriage.
it a right hand? Is a gay right hand?
He is still a bit
That's the way
confused.
it is. Yeah.
He's still a bit
You can
confused.
get married on the right way of gay. You can get married of a right hand of sex. That's in your way. But we are
I
getting
don't.
married. We are getting married. Not doing. We doing sex. Not doing sex.
Hello, sir. You,
before.
sir. You
Listen,
please answer, sir.
listen. How do you get married?
Marriage, she's your wife. She's your wife.
That's my wife, yes.
How did you get married?
How do you get married?
Wait. How did you get
Yeah,
married?
yeah,
I proposed to her
yeah.
and my sweet wife.
According to the Bible.
No, he said it, he said it.
According to the Bible.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Wow. Excuse me.
How did he get married?
Before I married my wife,
Yeah, what did he do?
before,
No, before you did sex. No, don't say marriage.
please wait for an answer.
Yeah.
Before I got married to my wife,
No. Say sex. No. They're married. When you do marriage, you complete the right. But before you do sex,
I went to who is my current wife.
Yeah.
I went to her
Yeah.
and proposed to her.
you
Married?
I did not force her.
and she.
I did not take her by my right hand.
No.
I did not tie a rope around her neck and drag her along.
Did she accept?
But I proposed to her.
Did she accept?
She wasn't my possession
Did she
at
accept?
that time.
Did she accept?
She simply wasn't.
Did she accept?
She was a lady independent of me. I proposed to her.
She agreed.
After a while,
She's agreed.
out of her own free choice, my wife, who is my wife today,
She said no.
agreed.
Agreed.
And then we courted.
No.
Then,
That's the right hand.
And
That's
then-
the right hand.
And then we quoted,
Yeah.
And you told
quoted,
to be saved if you
You
marry
forced her.
quoted.
And you slept with her in the street.
After some
You
quoting,
grabbed her like this. And you make sex with her in the street.
after the courtship,
Yeah.
You are twisting
we went.
words now.
Yeah.
Title name.
After
Okay.
courtship,
Well,
we
how?
were getting ready to get married.
No, the position, the position.
By the
How did
time
you
of
make
us
sex?
being
How did you
married,
make sex with her?
by
I swear I will
you
not
are a
give them.
desperate man.
No, I'm not.
By the
Because you are
time
talking
we
wrong.
were about
You
to be
didn't
married,
understand the Quran.
there was an understanding
How did
that
how
both
did
of
you make
us
sex to her?
wanted to.
How did you make sex to her?
Excuse
On
me, sir.
bed or a
You
street?
are a
In the
desperate
street?
man.
Did you make
A desperate man,
I'm a
sir.
desperate, yeah. How did you? Did you do make love or sex or fuck?
You
What did you do?
excuse me, sir.
What?
I am not concerned
You're
in
not such a-
satisfying
No.
the desires
No,
of a
she's
pervert
here.
here.
She's here.
Please
She's
move
here.
on, sir.
Tell us.
If your focus is in the
As
perversion.
much you don't understand the Quran, I'm not
The
understand
point
the way
we
how
are
did you
trying
make
to
love.
compare
No, how did you get married?
is the way I got married
Yeah? By what?
versus
By what? Who?
what Quran
Who
says
signed
you
on
could
your
do.
marriage? Who signed on your marriage? Who signed on your marriage?
Contrasting with what I did
Did you take her as a boyfriend?
in
or
terms of
girlfriend?
finding out my wife,
Huh?
what does Islam allow you to
Islam
do?
not allowed you to take her as a girlfriend.
Surah 4.
We know
Not
about
Islam.
Islam, we know.
Islam
We
not,
don't know about
not
Christianity.
boyfriend and girlfriend.
Surah
Islam is
4.
We
marriage,
know about
marriage.
Islam. Tell us about Christianity.
Ayah
Oh, tell us
24.
about how did you do sex?
About your belief.
How did he do
All married
sex with a
women.
woman and she's honest to you? You are not respecting women and you grabbed her and you grabbed her.
All married women
Sex before
are
How did you do that?
forbidden
She's here. She's here. Hey, boys, guys, she's here.
except
Except I will tell everybody.
those
Because you tell
captives
lies.
whom your right
No
hand
way.
possesses.
You will never be a right only when you understand
You
the
see,
word.
captive, war captive. Yes, please, not once more. Captive war. Yes, please. Surah 4, Ayah 24.
We
What
understand
is that
it,
about?
but you don't understand it.
War
We're trying
captives.
to explain to you. You don't know what's my right hand. You think right hand is the arm. It's not arm. It's not
You
arm.
asked me a question
Yeah,
earlier
yeah.
how I got married to my wife.
Yeah, how?
Was there any taking my wife by my right hand as a
No,
possession?
no. I didn't. I said.
Was there any such step?
Who's your
No,
role
no.
model? Who's your role model?
Yeah, who's your
There was a
Who's your
proposal.
role model
How
of
did-
marriage?
Who?
Jesus or the Holy Spirit? They both not married.
No,
How
no.
did you get the idea of to get married?
Well, certainly Muhammad is not my role model. Because Muhammad thinks
Of course it's Muhammad.
who is caught by your right hand
You're a Christian,
as
you're
your
Muslim.
possession
As a Christian,
can be forced to be married to
Who's
you.
your role model?
How-
You're a Christian.
How?
Stop talking about
How?
Muhammad and Islam.
I'm
Talk
Muhammad
about your belief.
And you
How
talking
did you
about-
get married? And
you
who's your
talking
role
about-
model?
how you
Jesus was not married. to
How
teach you
do you
how
respect
to get
your
married.
religion and you're talking
The Holy
about
Spirit
sex
told you.
like this
The
in the
Holy
front
Spirit
of
is
your
not
wife?
married.
How?
So,
How did you
get
talk
married
about
to the
sex?
lady? And you forcing her, by the way.
How did you talk about sex in the front of a woman and she is your wife?
Yeah,
Excuse
why
me,
you
sir.
forcing her?
I have no clue what you're
Why
on
you
about
lying
now.
to her? Why you lying
Please
to her?
Why
stay quiet.
there is a right for
Why
you
you
to
lying?
insult us and you don't want me to insult you?
Why you lying
Why?
to her? Why?
Why?
Because
You
in
lie.
our
You like
country,
In your country, which
the
country?
ideas that you hold,
Which
we
country?
consider
Which
to be
country?
primitive,
Which country?
backward,
Which country?
and we consider these
this
ideas
country-
should be relegated
This country doesn't know about the
the bin
Christianity for
of
1,000
history.
or 1,500 years. They don't know about any religion. And the Bible has been written 500 years
And the queen-
after Jesus
queen
died.
still go to church.
Where is the country
Queen
you're talking
still
about?
go to church.
Where is the country
Queen
you're
still
talking about?
worship.
You're talking about history, my history, and you
still
want to
worship.
change it. Our history is
Queen
still
religion,
worship.
politics, wars, everything. And you take it from us and you explain it in your way.
Where are you from, sir?
Even though marriage
Where are you from, sir?
doesn't matter from the world. Doesn't matter.
From the world.
Doesn't matter.
Are you happy taking a captive and forcing her to marry you?
That's you.
Are you happy with
That's
that?
you. That's you.
I'm not happy.
Forcing.
I'm not happy you lie to your wife and
Yeah.
you're forcing her to marriage.
Yeah.
Because you lie to her, you said to her,
Yeah.
if you not marry me, you're not going to be saved.
Yeah.
But in even your religion,
So are you happy with Surah 4, Ayah 24?
Yeah, I'm
Quran,
happy,
I'm
yeah.
happy for
I'm
all
understand.
of it, all
But
of
not
it.
the way you
Yeah.
understand
I'm
it.
happy.
Surah 4, Ayah
Not
24,
the way you understand
taking
it.
captives
No.
and forcing them to be
Yeah.
your wives,
And take
you're
it
quite
from
happy
your
with.
hand,
Say
your
war,
arm.
war,
Like
captain.
Maria?
And your
Right
arm.
hand
Like Maria?
possession, you're
Like
quite happy.
Maria.
Yeah.
Yes?
No, we're not forcing.
you-
You force your wife.
All right.
You did before marriage as a boyfriend and girlfriend, and you forced her, and you slept with her, and you did sex with her before marriage. This is not right
Muhammad
hand.
had
This
how
is
many-
not right hand.
how many
That's
privilege?
what is right handed talk.
How many privilege Muhammad
Right,
had?
right. You understand?
How many
Even in
privilege
English,
Muhammad had?
even in English, the word right.
How many
Let's
privilege?
move on because you guys are just rambling on, not dealing with the problem at hand of Islam advocating taking as possession by your right hand, not dealing with that. So we are now going to move on to talk about the next point. Quran Surah 16, Ayah 75. What does that say? Allah coins a similitude. On the one hand, a mere slave who has control of nothing. And on the other hand, one on whom we have bestowed a fair provision for us, from us. And he spends of it secretly and openly. Are they equal? Praise be to Allah, but most of them know not.
You are
So,
a gambler.
Islamic
You are a
Allah.
gambler. You are a gambler. That's your wife. You know the place where you're gambling.
At least he is not a
You're a
pedophile.
gambler. And where did you find your wife?
At least he
Where
is not
did you find your
pedophile.
wife?
Islamic
No.
Allah.
No. No,
Islamic
he's
Allah
a gambler.
thinks
He's a famous gambler. And he wants to talk about
a
Quran.
slave has control over nothing. Do you agree with
I
this?
got you. You are a gambler.
Do you
are a
agree
member of
with
the
this
You are a
idea
gambler.
of having a slave who has control over
People,
nothing?
they talk to me, they know you from 20 years,
So-
you are a gambler.
In the Western world, we abolished slavery a long time
You
ago.
are a gambler. And you
But
want to
what does
understand
Islam,
the Quran.
what
And
does
you want to understand
Islam
what's being
have
right
to
hand.
do with slavery?
And
Still promote slavery.
yes!
So what
Yes,
does Islam have to do with slavery?
Well, defend yourself.
Surah
How
16,
can I believe you? You are a gambler. How can I believe what you're talking?
Surah 16, Ayah
Just like
75
you believe
says,
on
See?
Muhammad,
Gambler.
who was the pedophile,
Understand?
you
a
believe
slave
No
has
way.
control
You talk
over
rubbish.
nothing.
Did you?
So the war
what he
captives,
did?
you
You
catch,
know what he
sir,
did? He promised his wife.
The war
he will bring her
captives,
here today.
you get
and
hold
he
of
will be powerful
and make your
to
slave,
attack the Muslim people.
you give
by
no
his eye.
right to.
And he
Are you
was
happy with that
rebellion.
idea?
And he understands from the right hand.
Are you happy with that idea?
He thinks it's the right arm.
Your
See, with
Allah
the
is
blank
insulting
there.
you, not he.
Brother James,
Yes.
I'm asking the gentleman a question.
Yeah.
So he was earlier talking about the war captives and stuff. When his
Because
friend
you
was
talking
around,
about
he
right
agreed
arm.
with him.
You're talking about right arm. You don't understand
The
what's right
question
arm.
that I have
It's
right
not
now
mean a power. It's not mean a right hand.
is, are you
It means
happy
the way,
with the idea
the way of right way,
that the
right
slaves have no control? No control of anything. Are you happy with that idea?
Listen.
I'm speaking to
I'll
you,
give
sir.
Example. How do we respect women? Any man,
Excuse me,
no
sir.
talking like
The
you
way you
in the
respect
front
women,
of his
you should
wife.
stay quiet,
like
sir.
Muhammad.
You are a pervert,
You
sir.
have no shame on you. You
should
it's the shame.
You are the
You
pervert.
should not
Stop
respect-
quiet, sir.
You
Now.
are not
should not
respected.
respect
If you not respect
women
Stop
your
talking,
wife,
sir.
there is no respect for yourself.
Are
at
you a
all.
Muslim still?
And people.
So, please
Muhammad is a bad role model.
please tell me,
Don't respect.
No.
please tell me,
He's insulting. He's insulting.
do you agree that Quran, do you agree with the
Can
Quran?
you speak slowly because I don't understand your English when you speak very fast? Can you speak a bit like
Do you agree with the Quran when the Quran says that the slave has control over nothing and the slave is incomparable to the master. Do you agree with these two statements?
Can you show me these two statements from the Quran?
It's there, Surah 16.
No, I need the Arabic verse. I need the
Arabic.
Arabic one.
See?
This is translated.
Translation.
I need the original verse, sir.
Do you see the problem
It's
here?
your scholar. It's
The
your
moment you
scholar
have a
who is
translation, they can't deal.
Source. This is not
It's your scholar who is the translator.
James, 1 second. What is the meaning of the word translation?
Tell me what.
Why? You tell me.
You tell me.
You are the one who was talking about this
There is
being a
scholar,
translation and so
there
on.
is a
Yes.
scholar, translator.
Listen,
reader.
please, sir.
That's
You
it.
are a pervert, sir. You need to learn manners, sir. Please. Yes.
I can see the manner on you in front of your wife. You're talking like rubbish.
Why is it that the
Thanks.
Muslims who translated that
You have
is
no
so
manner.
incompetent? Why can't they ever do it?
You see, the problem is, if this was, do you agree with this translation?
No.
You don't agree with this translation.
I don't know who translated. I don't know. I never seen.
Are you a Shia Muslim or Sunni Muslim?
Doesn't matter.
Shia.
No, I'm a Muslim.
You're
I'm a Muslim.
okay.
No.
So the question, because you're all Muslims,
Yeah.
and therefore you agree with any Muslim making a point from the Quran, the point is pretty simple.
The Quran.
Give me this now. Quran is translating.
In English, the word translation
One will go
means
in Jannah.
Yes.
He's
Four
afraid
other
because
will
I
go
read.
in
changing,
Jannah. Which one will go in
Yeah, he's not.
converting
Which one will
a text
will go?
from one language into another language, retaining its meaning. That's what translation is. So the point I'm talking about here, sir, you sir, the point I am interested in here is not a chanting stuff. I'm not interested in the Quran being some sort of a magical text which you recite over and over again, not even knowing its meaning. I'm not talking about that. I am concerned about the meaning of the text. And that is where my problem could be solved even reading the text in a translated statement in English. So I don't want to read in Arabic. I don't have to read in Arabic because my problem is not the Arabic words. My problem is the meaning of the statement. And the meaning has been translated.
Can I speak?
And let me read the verse for you, sir, in English. Translated. Allah coins a similitude. Surah 16, Ayah 75. Allah coins a similitude and a mere slave who has control of nothing. And on the other hand, one of whom we have bestowed a fair provision from us, and he spends of it secretly and openly. Are they equal? It's a rhetorical question. Of course, Allah isn't asking you for an answer, but He's giving this as a rhetorical question. Are they even equal? This is the verse. Slave without control versus a free man with possessions. Are they even equal? So 2 points made. These both are not equal, number one. Number two, especially the slave has control over nothing. Both of those points are made. Are you happy with those 2 points?
I don't understand what you're talking about because the meaning you are saying is not in the Quran. It's totally not in the Quran. I'm telling you the truth. You need to give me the original text. Right? So when
This is an English translation. Can you please read the name here, sir?
Yes, but translation, when you translate something into another language, there is a lot of meaning is missing.
No.
This is my belief. All right, maybe I'm wrong.
What's your mother tongue?
Arabic.
And what language does your neuron speak?
I speak Arabic as well. Arabic.
Your neuron,
What do you mean by
your
neuron?
brain cells.
Yeah, Arabic.
No, they speak
I speak in Arabic.
They speak in electromagnetic signals. So they speak in signals and you are able to translate into your mother tongue Arabic, perhaps, and then finally into English, and that's what I am hearing. Do you think that I should take your English statements seriously? while it began as electric signals.
I did not make any English statement right now. I'm just telling you, you need to show me the
No, no, no.
original
Question is
text,
simple.
Arabic text
Question-
to have a valid answer.
question
I
is-
cannot give you a valid answer for translating.
The question is simple. Question is simple.
Sorry?
Electric signals converting into English is a translation already. Should I take that translation seriously and listen to you?
Shall we
I
take this
think the
translation
words is
seriously?
different.
You
The
do.
words is
No,
different.
shall we take this translation seriously?
We should.
Why should we?
Well, because it is translated by eminent. Well, you read that for yourself, sir. By who? Was it by Christians?
We don't know.
Who translated
You
this?
read Arabic.
Excuse me, sir. Doesn't matter. Who translated this? Who translated this?
Can you read Arabic?
Who translated this?
We don't know
I
who
really
this-
don't know who's that. I don't know who's that. I swear. I don't know who's the translator.
What's your name, sir?
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Ahmed Muhammad.
Ahmed Muhammad.
Ahmed Muhammad.
If we ask 100 people at the park here, I don't know how many would know Ahmad Muhammad. But if you ask 100 people about pictorial translation of the Quran, many would know. Many more than who know you. In other words,
Can I
this
say
is not a
something?
simple
Can I ask a
ton.
simple question,
This
sir?
is an Arabic
Sir.
scholar translating the Quran for you.
Can I ask you a simple
Pictorial
question?
translations.
Sir, can I ask you a simple question?
No, no, no. Stick with the point here, please.
Simple question.
Pictorial translation. It's a translation from. Have you been on Hajj, sir? When you are going to be on, are you planning to be?
Inshallah.
Where would you go for Hajj, sir?
Mecca.
To Mecca, to Saudi Arabia. So the Islamic, one second.
If you need a valid answer, we need the book, the original book, sir. Where
This is-
this
this-
is secondary resource. This is we need a primary resource.
Should I sell that?
No. This is the secondary resource. We need a primary resource, sir.
Just said they shouldn't sell that. They shouldn't produce that.
No, I didn't say that, but we cannot use it as a valid text because it's translated. You need the original one. You need
So-
the Arabic text and the English translator. You have to have both, the Arabic and the English underneath. You have to do so.
So
sir.
do you consider this to be a translation of the Quran or not, sir?
This one, I am not cancelling this one.
Do you consider this to
You
be
want
a
valid
translation?
answer from me, sir, you need the original text and the translated
No, no, no,
text.
no. Question
I
is
don't give
simple.
you- Look,
Do you consider this to
you
be
went to uni, yeah?
a
You went to
valid
uni, yeah? You
translation
went to-
or
you
not?
went to uni, yeah? You went to university. Is that right or I'm wrong? It is the
You don't
original
know.
one,
You don't
sir.
know.
Pictorial translation. Please find out for yourself
Get
when
the
you go
ori-
home,
have your
sir.
phone, you have your lovely iPhone, get your iPhone out and get the original text and we can discuss it. What's wrong with that?
Well,
the original
the
text,
problem with that is you ignore the idea. You are undermining the idea of a translation.
No. I don't know. I don't know that. If you want to university, you have to have a valid information. You have to have a valid data. This is unvalid, and this is even not a secondary resource. This is even like primary. It's not even a primary or secondary. This is God knows what's that.
So the point we are right now talking about,
That, sir. Come on.
Quran Surah 16,
Get from where?
Quran Surah 16, Ayah 75.
That is not the Quran, sir. That is not the Quran.
So this is not. Explain to me. Do you have the Quran, Arabic Quran with you, sir?
It's in my heart. It's in my heart.
So you know it by heart. Please explain to me how this English translation differs from your Arabic
Wait, I don't understand
Quran in
that.
your heart, sir.
What is that? This is the
Have you got a Quran in your on your phone?
That's his mother tongue. He can handle it better.
But have you got your Quran on your phone? Explain to me where exactly this differs from the Arabic, sir.
Which one? Which one do you?
Al-Al.
75.
I still telling lies.
Okay, what is that?
Don't read English, man. أنا بيقول قاعد نتعلم القرآن. How can you read this? Translator, no way.
Do you know, sir, in Quran, we never said on the one hand and from the other hand. We never use these verses in the Quran. The
Excuse me,
translators
sir.
keep adding too
That's
many
not the
meanings.
question I'm asking you, sir.
Too many
The question is,
sentences.
you said the Arabic Quran is in your heart.
Yeah, you said that. I did say that.
What I want to know, what I want to know,
Put the camera on.
Why
in
don't
what
you show him-
particular way,
Why don't you show him the Quran, the real Quran?
in what particular way does this English translation differ from what is in your heart?
You need a valid resource. You need a primary resource.
In what particular way does your Arabic Quran differ from this English translation?
Not a secondary resource. So this conversation is invalid. I'm sorry.
Bad manner.
In what particular regard is this the Quran or not, sir?
No.
Invalid.
No way. I put it on.
This is what they're giving out as a Quran.
This is.
It's a great shame they can't
This is a
communicate.
book.
What's that?
Translated.
It's a great shame they can't communicate what they believe because it's, you know, it's going to be an
It's very unfortunate.
Carry on. You know what? I enjoy listening to you. But to be honest with you, the problem is with you. You are a nice talker. You are a very nice gentleman. I tell you the truth. But the problem is you don't have any valid information. If you want me to talk to you, I'm not a religion scholar. I tell you the truth. I'm just an ordinary Muslim. I enjoy listening to you to see what is in your mind about the Islam and what is the Islam people. But if you want to really have criticizing the Islam, you need to get the original text, show it to us, prove my Quran as point of view is wrong. I don't have any problem with that. I tell you the truth. Because God asking us to debate, to challenging the Quran. God sees that in the Quran, challenging the verses. And to get one mistake, we never find one. But if you can find one, that's great. But get the original state.
So
Get the
this
original
particular
state.
verse, what is the problem
Anyway,
you have, sir?
I have to move on. And I would see you next week with the Arabic verses text.
Please bring the
Would you like
Arabic
to shake my
Quran.
hand? Would you like to shake my hand?
Good to see you. God's blessings. So, do you have a problem with the slaves having control over nothing, sir?
Because if you are married in your way, because if you are
No. You are a pervert. Still
Yeah.
stuck to your perversion.
No, I'm
Excuse me.
comparing-
I'm not talking about that now. We're talking about we are
See,
talking.
like, for example, your wife, if she is get sex
I'm
with
not.
somebody,
I'm not.
the law
Excuse
is not
me.
allow you to
Excuse
divorce
me,
her.
sir.
So
You
what
can
kind of
keep
human
your
you are?
perversion to
What
yourself.
kind of human? What
You
kind
can
of
keep
religion
your
you are?
perversion
Your
to
wife
yourself,
making
sir.
sex on behalf on behind you.
You
And you're not
can
allowed.
keep your
You are not
perversion
allowed
to
divorce
yourself,
her.
sir.
And you're talking about right and left.
All right.
All right? You shy.
Good to see you.
So you have to behave yourself when
Good to see you.
when you're talking about Quran.
My first time speaker school, but I've seen you on the
Okay.
Promise me
Okay.
next time and bring me.
it's a
Bring
pleasure
me
talking
the
to you.
law
Yes,
of,
good to see you. Yeah, God's
of
blessings.
divorcing. And from
All right.
about the gay and lesbian.
So let's try and wrap up now. The points that we were simply making today, simple. Islamic slavery is a serious issue which still has not still has not got a theological resolution to itself. So the problem is Islam perpetuates slavery even today. A few years ago there was an Indian woman, a young lady who was working for a Saudi Arabian family whose hands were chopped off. And the problem, the reason why her hands were chopped off was because she accused her owners of ill treatment. Purely because she accused them of ill treatment, hands were chopped off. And so the point is, even today, Islam practices slavery more so in nations like Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Arabian Peninsula and less in Western nations. In Islam, there are derogatory views towards some particular categories of people. And because of the derogatory views, they are harshly treated and treated as slaves, of course, harshly. And then Islam also establishes the idea that manumission of them is not a good idea. Muhammad himself, who is supposed to be a good example, the final example for all of mankind, bought slaves, sold slaves, used slaves in his work. And therefore, Muhammad allows slavery, Islamic slavery, to propagate even with religious approval, even up to the 1960s in the Arabic heartland and in northern Africa, where Islam has a stronghold, slavery wasn't abolished legally. It was only with the persuasion of the Western powers that Arab nations were even willing to talk about that. But in contrast, when you compare,
Talk about the Bible, not us.
are you the one who refused to answer a question I asked you earlier,
Talk
sir?
about your Bible, not talking about us.
In contrast, when you come to the Bible, what you find is Jesus Christ neither owned slaves nor allowed other people or his followers to have slaves. That is not the example he propagated. In contrast, one of the early apostles, Paul, writes, there is neither a Jew nor a Greek,
What happened to them in the church?
neither a free man nor a slave,
About them.
neither a Jew nor a Greek man, neither a free man nor a slave in Christ Jesus. Because in Christ Jesus, all are same. This is the idea that Jesus Christ propagated through his early followers. And because of this, even though there was cross-Atlantic slave trade introduced or encouraged by Europeans who were supposed to be Christians, there were great spiritual stalwarts like William Wilberforce and so on, who through their strong-held conviction from scriptures, the Bible, opposed slavery and brought an end to both the slave trade cross-Atlantic and local holding of slaves in the US and in the UK, with people like Abraham Lincoln, William Wilberforce and so on. So the point is, clearly Islam supports and propagates slavery, whereas Jesus Christ does not. And that's why Muslims, I invite all of you to leave Islam, to leave the abhorrent religion of Islam, which advances slavery, and come to Jesus Christ, who gives you a quality of morality which is unprecedented. Islam, which came later, is repressive, backward and primitive. Jesus, on the other hand, is top-notch in terms of quality. Come to Jesus Christ. Leave Islam. God's blessings to you all. Thank you.